over a year ago in July. So 2014 is when we launched the program with the Minnesota group. Since then, we've been launching owners since January of this last year, and was able to go to conference and get really good feedback from people, and get good and bad feedback so that we can better the program, which is exactly what we want, is just to make sure that your customers and the store is happy with the program. So the ultimate goal of the Club CM Rewards program is to kind of move away from that old school marketing approach and really move into this digital age of marketing. And we want to connect your store to your customers every single day. So why the Club CM Rewards program? Well, we know that through other programs that we work with our clients, we have found that 70% of first-time customers never return. So there's three things in mind with this trigger-based email marketing program, what we want to do. One is going to be build retention. We want to build retention with your new and existing customers. Two, we want to have more customer returns. So, maybe they, they come 2 or 3 times a year. Let's get them back 4 or 5 times a year. And then the final goal is to increase that average ticket sale over time through building retention and building that relationship with them, and through some of the other trigger emails that we have. Over time, we have seen an increase in that ticket sale, so that's great. So through the Club CM Rewards program, we're going to send the right message through the right channel, which is through email, to the right customer at the right time. So I'm going to go over a few buzzwords here. First one's going to be everyday marketing. So we are going to communicate to your customers every single day. That doesn't mean we're going to communicate to every customer every single day. What we have is what we call these preset trigger emails that we set in place, and we'll go into the specifics of them. But the triggers are based upon your customer's date of last transaction. So, if somebody hits one of these triggers, it's because they hit one of these preset emails that we have created. So let's go through these types of triggers. The first one's going to be our new customer. A new customer is going to be anybody who it's literally their first time to the store. You're grabbing their information, you're grabbing their email address, their telephone number, and they have a transaction. That's going to be a new customer. And we are going to communicate to both your buy and your sell customers and customers who do both transactions. So this is very tailored, specific to the customer transaction type as well. So if somebody comes in, sold a pair of Coach shoes to you, that email that's going to go out to them the next day, we're going to say thank you for selling your items to us. If they came and shopped, we're going to say thank you for shopping. So again, they're very specific to the customer type transaction. For the new customer trigger, somebody comes into the store today. Tomorrow is when they're going to get their email. The way that the data comes into us, we don't get it until after the business day is over. Data is all processed, and then Resale One sends it to us. So we get it late, really actually, we get it in the morning, early morning. We process that information, and from that information we receive from Resale One, we are going to generate those points and those emails out to your customers. The next one's going to be an active customer. So an active customer is going to be somebody who has had 2 or more visits within the last year. We do have some rules around this trigger because we know some customers like to shop often. We have set it so that a customer can only receive this active trigger once in a 7-day period. So, say they shopped on Monday, Tuesday they're going to get their email saying thank you for shopping. Say they come in Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. We're not going to resend them this active trigger to say thank you 3 more times. We're just going to send it that one time. We don't want to over email people. And if they are active customers, they know that you appreciate their business. And so we're just trying to be kind of specific in the way that we send the messages here. So again, active customers, whether buy or sell, we're just going to say thank you for coming in, and it's just a real simple, clean message. The next trigger is going to be an at-risk customer. We have 3 emails set under at-risk. One's going to be a customer who hasn't been back in 90 days. The next one's going to be a customer who hasn't been back in 120 days. And the next one is going to be somebody who hasn't been back into the store in 180 days. For the 120 and the 180-day trigger, we insert a $10 off of 50 coupon, which in hopes gets them back into the store. We're just trying to incentivize them to come back. It's been long. It's been 120 and 100 or 180 days since your last visit. Come in and shop. And so with those, again, we're just saying, hey, we miss you, and hopefully get them back into the store with that incentive for those the 120 and 180-day triggers. Underperforming customers. So this is actually a new trigger. It's not actually a trigger. It's more of a set within our triggers. So basically what happens is we get your transaction data. We know what your customers are doing and what they're purchasing in your store. We're going to roll this out next week, so you'll be hearing more information about it. But we have what we call upsell offers. So say I'm a very consistent shopper and say I like to buy jeans. I only come in the store to look for jeans. I've never bought accessories or I've never bought shoes before. You see that in the database. You see that that's how I am. In the trigger email, say the active email, say I shop. I'm going to get that email the next day. In that active guest email, it's going to have some upsell offers for me to use for my next visit. So maybe in those upsell offers, it's buy one, get one half off on accessories, or maybe 30% off my first pair of shoes. The whole goal here is just to try to get me to purchase in different categories, try to increase that ticket, and then hopefully kind of change my shopping pattern to hopefully get me to purchase in other categories for next time. And then, as I mentioned, increase that average ticket sale over time. So what we will be doing is rolling this out to owners to be able to utilize. What we would do is we send you an Excel spreadsheet where you can provide us the offers that you would like to include within the trigger email. And then from there, we inject those into your trigger emails. One thing to keep in mind with these upsell offers, once they've actually used the upsell offer, we see that in the system. They will no longer be able to receive that, say, buy one get one half off on accessory coupon ever again, because we've seen in the system they've already done that. So we're only ever offering those upsell offers to customers who have not had that transaction in the store. So if they've used all 3 or 4 of them, then they just won't get any coupons, which is, I guess, a good thing because they're an active customer, they're shopping often, and throughout the year you guys have a lot of discounts already anyway. So the next one's going to be rewards. So 250 points equals a 20% off reward certificate. So $1 equals 1 style point. Again, 250 points equals a 20% off reward certificate, and it's only available for customers who purchase from you. As I mentioned earlier, I come and shop today. Tomorrow is when I'm going to get my rewards email if I earn my 250 points. That's going to be one change that we've had to transition the behavior for customers, is that it's not instant. They've got to wait to the next day to get that reward certificate. And then finally, we have surveys. We have surveys injected in both the buy and the sell survey. And they're very specific to the customer transaction again. If they've taken the buy or the sell survey, then they would always have the opportunity to take a quick comment, which is basically just a text field for them to type in whatever they feel they need. We inject that into all of the surveys so that they always have an opportunity to communicate with you if they feel so they need to. So now we're going to go over some samples here. The first one is going to be the welcome email. So one thing that owners do get a little confused with from the very beginning is kind of what we call databases. And to us, we have your POS database, your Resale One database, all of that data that you've collected in that POS system. Then you have what you guys call your constant contact list. These are going to be two separate databases. For the welcome email, anybody that's existing, any customer who has an email address existing in your POS database, they are going to receive this welcome email. This is considered to be like a trigger email, okay? So we are going to communicate to your customers after we've turned your system on. That next day, anybody who has an email address is going to receive this welcome email, welcoming them to the Club CM Rewards program, letting them know how it works, and then asking them to take a survey. On the very bottom here, we entered in the piece about the mobile app, which is still, fairly new. On the bottom here, it has the Club CM Rewards contact information. That's going to be access for them to email our customer service center and ask questions relevant to the Club CM Rewards program, maybe points, rewards, how do I log into my account, that type of information, so that we customers have access to our customer service center to get those questions answered. And then over here we have your social media links as well. So we inject those social media links from your customer's store last visited. So if they visited your store, today, tomorrow, they're going to get this email, and it's going to inject your specific social media links. One thing to keep in mind, which I don't think I mentioned, is that this is a universal program, so that if they go to any location that is involved with the Club CM Rewards program, they're going to earn points. The next one is going to be in the welcome. As I mentioned on the bottom here, the survey here. Actually, we just updated these surveys. These are not up to date. I'll need to update this information. But on Fran Connect, we do have the surveys available for you to download so you can view and see what type of questions we're asking. With the surveys, they are rated, scored survey, so that if they, I believe it's 68% or higher, if they don't get a 68% or higher on the survey, we send what we call a low survey score alert to you, which basically just tells you that the customer wasn't satisfied. And in the low survey score, we provide you with some information about the customer. So first name, last name, email address, their store, their favorite store maybe, the store they last visited, the employee that rang them up, and what their score is. And then also in this low survey score alert that you will receive, you will also get the question and the answer to the survey, so you'll be able to kind of see what exactly happened, why they were unhappy. Again, this is an older version, so I'll have to update this, but you can see them in Fran Connect. But basically the ultimate goal is for the customer to be able to communicate their experience in the store. If they had a bad experience, once they hit that submit button, this low survey score goes to you immediately, and so that you have the ability to communicate with this customer right away if you'd like to. And so, I can also have your managers on this low survey score alert. You would just need to let me know, and I would put their email address into our database to receive this. But again, just a tool for you guys to see how well the customer service is doing operationally in the store, and are your customers happy. So here's a sample of a daily owner activity update. This is something that you're going to get every single day. The reason behind this is owners want to know what kind of emails are we sending out, how many points are being issued, and we're able to do that for you. Here we highlight, again, because we get your data nightly and we process it, the email that the emails that you're getting, the data is showing from the day before. So if your activity update came today in your email inbox, it would be from yesterday's transaction. So just kind of taking a look here, we can tell you, and this is another thing that I like to explain is with sales here, when it says point issued for sales, this is going to be for sales for your reward members, not total sales for the day. Sometimes there's some confusion of, oh my gosh, I did like $5,000 in sales. Well, I'm sure you do have customers that aren't a part of the rewards program, so that's not going to be included in this number. It's only the sales for your rewards members. We do work with new uses. They actually do offer points on buys, and they do a $10 off instead of a 20% off, and unfortunately we have to use the same template. So points issued for buys, this is always going to be 0, and and then dollars for rewards redeemed, that's always going to be 0 for you as well, just to highlight so you don't get confused there on that. As we look down here, these are the type of trigger emails that we kind of talked about earlier, and we highlight how many emails that we had sent out. So we had 3 people who hit rewards, so we sent 3 reward emails. 14 new customers came into the store, we sent out 14 new customer emails. So again, just a snapshot for you guys to be able to see what's going on in your stores, how many points are being distributed, how many emails are being sent out to your customers. As I mentioned with the surveys, there's a quick comment section. In the quick comment section, if anybody does type in there, the quick comment will show up in your daily owner activity update. So you'll always be able to see that if they do type that in there. Also, you'll be able to see it in your reporting interface, which we'll slightly go over here in just a minute. So here's another tool that we have. This is an email address collection report. You will get this every Monday. I'm just going to go dive right into it here. We collect data for a week, and then we send it to you again on Monday, as I mentioned. So we're just going to look at Brianna here. We are looking at how many emails each associate are collecting. So for Brianna, she rang up a total of 65 customers that week. Of the 65 customers, 35 of them did not have an email address in the system prior to that transaction. Of those 35 customers, she was able to collect 15 new emails, and of those 15, 11 of them were valid. So 11 emails were valid. The reason why we highlight total number valid is because if an email is not valid, we can't send to the customers the trigger emails that we have set in place. So it's really important that we take our time in filling in those email addresses. And then right here, this new guest, or what we call a new customer section here, this subsection, is this 19 is a subset of this 65. So of the 65 customers that Brianna rang up, 19 of them were new customers. Of those 19 customers, 7 of them she was able to collect emails for. Why we subset this out is because we want to engage with your new customers right away. We want to build that retention from the moment they walk in the door. And so that's why we think it's important to highlight this feature of making sure that we're collecting new customer emails. Now, say that there's bad or invalid emails that your associates are bringing in throughout the day. In the daily owner activity update, on the top, you will have, and it's not showing up here, but on the top of the email, it's going to have an Excel spreadsheet that will pull in if there is any bad or didn't pass verification emails. And I will tell you, the first couple days, you're going to see more than you want. But then after about a week or so, it's going to start tapering off a little bit, and you're probably going to see between like 2 and 5. Sometimes during the weekend, you're going to have obviously more customers in the store. So you might see a little increase on the weekend of bad emails. Ultimate goal here is if you see those, take a look at them. If you can make the change in the POS to get those fixed, go ahead and do that so the next time they come in, have a transaction, they'll get that email the next day. What I will tell you, though, is although a bad or invalid email address may be in the customer profile, once you've injected the email address into that field and the transaction has occurred and comes to us, we're still going to give points. We just won't communicate to the customer because the email is just bad. So here's another sample here. This is the birthday email. With the birthday email, we inject a 15% off coupon, which is good for 31 days. We send birthday emails out on the 1st of the month, but we do send birthdays out every day. So if you update a customer's profile, you know, say they came in and their birthday is during the month and you put in their birthday, we would send that birthday email out to them the next day after you've updated that information or entered in that information into the customer profile. An expiration date may be past their actual birthday. So, you know, say they came in on the 15th, it's going to be from 31 days from that point for them to use that birthday certificate. I will go in a little bit more detail here in just a minute, but birthday certificates are going to work just like rewards and how you're going to redeem these. So here are just a few samples of the promotional emails we've done. A lot of these were here in the spring and summer. We do work with Corporate Close Mentor to create templates. So your bigger events, your Columbus Day, you know, the hunting season emails, the Christmas emails, those type of emails, we work with them to kind of keep the brand consistency. And so they build those templates. We use those templates. We just kind of update them in our system. But if you have different events, you know, like a 25% off sale, spring clearance sale, or a fall 20% off sale, those ones that we don't have necessarily corporate templates for, we can create those. And this is kind of an example of, you know, what we can do here. Ultimate goals, we just want that brand consistency with, you know, Close Mentor so that, you know, you guys have that in-store signage, you guys have the social media images and so forth to utilize for your store. So we try to stay as consistent as we can. But again, as I mentioned, if you guys have these one-off emails that you guys need done, we can surely do those for you as well. Just a few highlights here. We do have an RSVP option. So if you have a girls' night out, you want your customers to RSVP, they can RSVP by store, by date. You know, they can add a guest if they want to. What we do then is the day before, day of, you let us know. We can pull all of those customers who had RSVP'd and send you that list for you to use. The other feature here is the Add to Calendar. If you click this Add to Calendar button, it takes you to a page where it allows you to save whatever promotional event is going on to your personal calendar. It's just another personalized way for you to engage with your customers, and then it's generally a friendly reminder to your customers about the promotion that you guys are having in your store. With the promotional emails, this is an optional piece. Although we are transitioning a lot of owners out of constant contact and working with us, the promotional email templates are separate from the monthly cost. The way the promotional emails work is 2 email templates per owner per month for $25. So to give you an example, if you wanted to do a Columbus Day sale template and then you wanted to do a 20% off fall sale, those are 2 email templates for the month of October. You'd be charged $25. Say you didn't do any email templates, you didn't send any emails in the month for promotional emails. You would not be charged anything. Now, say you did the Columbus Day sale, you did the 20% off fall sale, and then you wanted to do the hunting email. That's 3 email templates. So you get the first 2 for $25. After that, after the first 2, it's then $25 after that. So then for the month of October, you'd be charged $25, or you'd be charged $50 for 3 emails being sent. Here are just some samples. We just like to kind of highlight how we inject customer information into the coupons. This is the $10 off the 50 coupon. The $10 off the 50 coupon is valid for 45 days, just so you're aware. And we do put the expiration date in there. We also put the customer name and email address as well within the coupon. As I mentioned, the 15% off birthday coupon is going to be similar to the reward email, reward coupon, which I'm going to go over in just a minute on how to redeem. So here is the reward email, and then here is the reward certificate. A customer can surely show you on the phone, hey, I have a reward available. But when you're going to look up somebody in the system, that's the first thing generally you're going to do is you're going to open up a sale, and then you're going to look up that customer, and then hopefully see if they have any rewards or how many points they have until their next reward, and then continue the bringing up their process here. But with that, I'm going to go into how we redeem birthday and reward certificates. So with the 2015 upgrade with Resale 1, we were able to get the majority of what we needed from them to get integrated. There is one piece, there's actually two pieces that we're missing from them, which we hope to have updated with their next update. But just a few highlighted moments here. Customers can earn rewards, reward points, whether they have an email address in the system or they have a postal address. So generally we see this with owners down in Florida or places in warm weather, but in older demographics, we see this most frequently where they say, I don't have an email address, I don't want an email address, I can give you my postal address. Okay, so if you enter their postal address into their customer profile, customers will be able to earn reward points and rewards. They would just never receive communication from us. Now, we are really trying to push for emails because obviously that's going to maximize the program. But you are going to have some of those customers that are like that. We want to just do our best to work with your associates to make sure that they aren't using this as a crutch, but to really make sure that they're engaging with your customers and getting these email addresses. The other one is going to be, say you have somebody that doesn't want to give you an email address or a postal address. The other one is going to be an email address that we have. It's, oops, let me go back here. It's opt out, and then underscore, and then you type in the customer's phone number. At cm.com. So your associates can use this email address in place, again, as a filler to earn points if customers are completely adamant about not giving their email address or their postal address. Again, we do have people that do that, but we're trying to eliminate that as much as possible. So why I bring this up? So people who have these postal address or the opt-out, you are going to have to look up these types of customers in the loyalty button here. The loyalty button is what we consider to be our desktop app here at EI3. It's going to be the most accurate tool to look up customer information. And I can pull up your loyalty app on my computer. Say you are having trouble in the trophy. Always go back to this loyalty button. It will provide you with everything that you need. And I can see the same thing that you're seeing on your screen in the loyalty button here. With the trophy, although it's almost done, we just need to get this piece where you can search your customers who have that postal address or that opt-out email address in that trophy, which is not the case right now. So with that being said, we have those customer types down. The other one's going to be the the type of customer who we want is they have a valid email address in the system and they're earning reward points. You are going to open up a sale. You're going to look me up, and then you see that I'm a rewards member, and you see this trophy then pull in. Okay, you can click the trophy. It's going to open up a new screen where it's going to show you how many points I have. It'll show you if I have any redeemed or expired birthday or reward certificate, or valid birthday or reward certificate. If I have a valid birthday or reward certificate, you can then hit redeem. After you hit redeem, that 20 or 50% off is going to come off automatically on the bottom here. Or those customers, again, your postal address or that opt-out, you are going to have to go into the loyalty button. You're going to have to redeem that reward or birthday certificate in the loyalty button. Then you're going to have to go down to your coupons here and then issue a 20% or 15% off coupon. Again, this is our only workaround right now until we get the full integration. Once that full integration happens, we'd like to have everything right here in place for your associates so they only have to go to one location. But again, this is the kind of workaround we have for right now. So with that, the next piece is going to be just going over some numbers here. I'll offer some suggestions and some feedback on what I've heard from other owners. And then if you have questions, we can feel free to go into those. So trigger emails and how impactful they are. We just kind of like to highlight this. With previous owners, they're so used to that batch and blast type marketing where they're just sending promotional emails. There's nothing personalized about it. We are now, again, we're transitioning out of that, and we're moving to that new age of digital marketing where we are marketing close venture to your customers, but in a personal way, again, based upon their transaction data. So what we've seen is that the open rates for these trigger emails are much higher than what you would see for those promotional sales-driven emails. Overall, we're seeing a 40% open rate for all of our clients here at Group 3. For Club CM, I'm seeing a 36% open rate for trigger emails, which is great. So click-through rates, 46% for all of our customers. I'd say Club CM, we're seeing at about 20%, but there's just not a lot of things to click on right now. We haven't injected those upsell offers yet, so we'll probably see an increase in click-throughs once we've inserted those into the system. The next piece here is our reporting interface. So the reporting interface allows you the ability to see how many emails you've collected, how many of your customers are emailable versus non-emailable. Of your customers who are emailable, how do they impact your year-to-date sales versus your customers who you don't have an email address for? I mean, it's a load of data, a load of information. And we go into it. I'm actually going to be sending out an email next week for a reporting webinar. We'll go in more detail. So I'm just going to kind of touch point some of these areas here. So as I mentioned, here on the reporting interface, you can see over the last 12 months, LTM, how many of your customers are emailable versus lost opportunities. Lost opportunities, we just consider customers who we don't have an email address for, so we can't contact, interact, or influence them to the next sale. Over here, we just highlight emails sent, what the open and click-through rates are, and then how many new or updated email addresses you've had over the last 7 days. This is just a number we like to have out there so that you can kind of see. You should see some consistency every week. If you see a drop where it's like I'm seeing 70 every week and then I'm seeing 10. There's something going on in the store. Why did we only collect 10 emails? So it's just a way for you to kind of hold your associates accountable again, just taking a peek at this. The other one here, piece that we add in here is your total sales changes versus last year. And then your sales growth drivers. This is one thing that we highlight throughout all of our reporting. It's how your emailable guests influence your sales versus your lost opportunities and how they influence your sales. This is just a quick highlight. As I mentioned, we were just talking about how your emailable customers, how they impact your year-to-date sales versus lost opportunities and how they impact year-to-date sales. This screen is just another highlight and another phase for you guys just to see of how many emails are being sent over a 30-day period, which trigger emails are being sent out. Here highlights how many emails went out over the last 30 days. In the orange here, this is how many emails we could have sent. That would be the basically those lost opportunities, those people who we don't have an email address for because we didn't have an email, we couldn't send to them. And then also we highlight again your percentages here for trigger emails, batch emails, which are going to be promotional emails, and then a combination total here. All right, so keep maximizing the program. Collecting emails, obviously, taking the full benefit of the program and maximizing the program. Collecting email addresses is really important. It's a way for you to engage and connect with your customers. The second one is going to be talk about the rewards program, get your customers excited, about the 20% off reward certificate, the 50% off, eventually hear these upsell offers that they're going to get. And then also talking about the rewards program and asking them to take a survey to get their feedback. With these surveys, you do have the option to provide an incentive for them to take the survey. So if you wanted to do a $3 off or a $5 off coupon in the survey, you can do that. Again, please let me know if that's something you want to do, and I can set that up for you. So again, great kind of just getting your customers excited about the rewards program will definitely, one, help with collecting email addresses. But two, they'll feel important, they'll feel engaged with you guys, and will want to come back more often. A piece to highlight here, specifically for your associates, customers are going to get an email the day after they've been into the store. So I come into your store today, the associate gets my email address, associates my customer profile with that transaction, then tomorrow I'm going to get my email. Use the loyalty button or the trophy to see how many points the customer has before they finish their purchase. So, for example, you've opened up a sale, you look in the trophy, you see you have 200 points, and then you start ringing me up, and then you look and you're like, all right, Whitney's about 5 points away from getting a reward certificate. It's a perfect opportunity for an upsell where you can say, hey, Whit, you are 5 points away from earning a reward certificate. Do you want to buy, a pair of sunglasses or some earrings here that are about $5, $6 to get you to your point threshold? I probably would say yes. And then, of course, you got that upsell. You helped increase on average ticket sale. Reward transition. So transitioning the punch cards to the rewards program, the way we've transitioned probably 90% of customers here is if a customer comes in and has a punch card and they have between 1 and 10 stamps, give them 10% off their entire purchase. If it's 11 through 20 stamps, give them 20% off their entire purchase, and then let them know by providing their email address at checkout they're then going to start earning points digitally. We do have a flyer that's a little bit nicer than this, and it's available on FranConnect. I also injected into the launch email that you would get from me. So just kind of going over the program here. What you get with the Club CM Rewards program with Group 3 Marketing. We have all of those everyday triggers, those triggers that we went over with, your new customers, your active customers, your at-risk customers, and again, these are going out every single day based upon your customer's date of last transaction. Those upsell offers for your underperforming customers, those can also be injected into your trigger emails. Customer surveys, getting that survey data, and then getting that low survey score feedback if that does ever happen. You also have the 2 websites. You have the management website, which is a reporting interface, which we kind of went into a little bit of detail about. And then we have the customer website, which they can view their points, they can view their rewards, they can view their transaction history. So say that, they're like, you know what, I lost my receipt for my last transaction. They can go into their customer profile and see what their transaction number is, so they can let you know, so that they can finish a return if they need to for not having their receipt. They can also update their personal information in there as well. Also included is the Customer Service Center that's open Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. They are here to answer both owner, associate, customer questions relevant to the Club CM Rewards program. So simple stuff as, I don't know how many points I have, I thought I had a reward, I accidentally didn't associate that customer profile with the transaction, she didn't get her points. Can you add points to her profile? Yes, we can do that. So a lot of, your just generalized questions relevant to the Club CM Rewards program, calling them will be the best way, because I definitely am in webinars and doing a lot of meetings, so I'm not as available as they are to be able to help your associates immediately. The final piece, again, which we went into detail about, is the option for the promotional email. The 2 email templates per owner per month for $25, and then additional $25 for each template after that during that month. So with that, I'm going to leave this information up. Adam Choate is our VP here. He's kind of our go-to guy for questions and things that I may not be able to answer. Or if I'm out of the office, he also is kind of the next in line to chat with as well. So with that, just a few things that I like to mention. One, we created what we call the Club CM Rewards Guide. The Club CM Rewards Guide is available on FranConnect. It also is included in the launch email that I send you. That will probably be, we update this often, especially with new and updating things, so we always just kind of keep owners informed and let them know of changes. But in the Club CM Rewards Guide, it's probably like the Bible to Club CM Rewards. It provides you all of the information that you would need to know, what your associate might need to know, as far as how points need to be, if you need points added to a customer's profile, or how do I ring up a customer so that they earn points. All those type of things are in that guide. There also is a script in there so that your associates have something to kind of use to transition. And then there's a frequently asked questions section that's basically between Jenny and I have kind of collaborated together on, with just a load of questions owners over the last year have asked us, and most of them are frequent and expected questions now. So I would definitely utilize that tool, print a few of those out, get them next to your registers, have your managers read through those, and you guys should be set up for success with that. So the 2 things that I like to mention is being sure that associates move away from using the walk-in customer and just ringing customers up and going. They've got to be able to look up a customer, get an email address if they already have an email address, associate that customer profile with the transaction. That's how we are able to connect those points to a customer. We get that data overnight. We see that customer profile attached with that transaction. We process that data, and then we send out those points in emails. And so that is like a huge piece of transitioning your associates away from just kind of the button of the walk-in and just try to check people out as quickly as possible. We've got to get that demographic information from your customers, and we just need to associate that profile with the transaction. The other piece that comes up pretty frequent is, what if somebody returns items? How does that work? So say I come into your store, I buy a Louis Vuitton purse, it's $350 bucks. The next day I get my reward email. I get my 20% off certificate, and then I'm like, all right, I got my 20% off reward certificate. I'm going to go return my purse. So once I go back into the store, I return my purse. and you've associated with that transaction with my profile, I'm going to be removed. I'm going to get 350 points removed from my profile. So now I'm going to be in the negative, and I'm going to have to build back up to 0, and then from 0 back to 250 to get my next reward. We can't take away the reward certificate once it's already redeemed. So the way that we're doing it is we're just subtracting the amount of points based upon the total. So for me, like I mentioned, 350, I would be in the negative 350 points and have to work my way back up to 0 to start earning that next reward. I think that's about it. I'm sure you probably have some questions for me, so you can kind of go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, good, very good presentation, and I like the fact that you saved that for me so that I could use it with my assistant manager. I'm not going to have a manager, and you know I'm new store and I haven't opened yet, right? You know all that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I've got a few questions for you. Let's see. I wanted to confirm with you because I think at one point they said don't collect emails on buys, only collect them when they're purchasing. So I'm confirming we do collect emails with the buy.
Yes, yes. You want emails for both types of customers. We want as much data as we can because we're communicating to both customer types.
Okay. So that's good. And then let me ask you this. If a customer comes in, we're getting kind of saturated in this area. Lots of stores, it's great because I know lots of people go from one to the other, you know, closed door hopping kind of thing. So I'm collecting, you know, customers coming in, and Susie shops at 3 other closed mentor stores, and she says, oh, I've already done that. I've already got my email in there. What do I do with that? Do I need to collect it from my store, or is she...
Yes, you need to collect it at least once, and you can reference that. You know, we just have to verify your email address so that points are distributed equally through any closed mentor store. And
okay.
Once they do it once, then you don't ever have to collect it again. But you do have to collect it that first initial time.
Even if okay.
I might need to look into that because I kind of I do a little secret shopping myself at closed mentor stores just to make sure owner or associates are asking me and giving me the right information about CM rewards. But you may be able to look them up universally in the system now. So I'm going to retract what I just said. I believe you can now look up a customer if they've already had a transaction and provided their email address in the Club CM Rewards program. You can look them up by their email address or their telephone number, and it should pull up.
Okay.
I went to the Edina store, and I'd never been there before, and they had my email address. So I take that back. Yes, you can look up. It's universal.
All right. And then I've had this explained to me before, but it's not clicking for some reason. So she comes to my store, and then she goes to another store, and she gets promotional emails. So she's only going to get the one. I understand that for like her birthday, or she's gotten 250 points. But let's say another owner is having a promotional for Memorial Day, and I'm not. And what does she do with that? Is it the store specific on those promotionals where she wouldn't think it was my store too, or how does that work?
Yep, it's store specific. So it'll with all promotional emails, it's going to have on the bottom and generally near the top, it'll have the logo with the store name underneath of that specific store that is having that sale. And then some owners, and this is definitely just kind of case by case, but say the Minnesota group, they do their bigger sales together as a group. So they'll send one email out to all database so that they only receive one email. Versus, you know, if all of the Minnesota owners were all having a Columbus Day sale and they all were doing the same thing, that one customer may get 3 or 4 emails because they shopped at 3 or 4 stores. And so to eliminate a customer getting saturated with the same email, the co-op decided as a group, let's just send, if we're going to have the same sale, let's all just send one email out so the customer is not being bombarded with emails. So I don't necessarily know. What's that?
That's interesting you brought that up. We're actually meeting next week with Ted and our ROM, all the Philadelphia area owners, to talk about co-op. So that will be brought up as well. So that's a good way of doing that.
Yes.
So they're not in, they can pick where they want. Now, let me ask you this, because I don't have to worry about constant contact and any kind of merge with them from them, because I haven't been, so that doesn't affect me. But what about emails that I've collected on my own, like through social networking or whatever? What do I do with those as far as you are concerned?
You would just send me a spreadsheet of that, and then we would just put it into the databases, in your database as subscribers. So once you send out a promotional email, those people that are subscribers in your system, we would send them emails. What we find is that your subscribers eventually become customers, so they get removed out of your subscriber database and then they only are in your POS database. Does that make sense?
Yes, so they're going to start off as they're interested, but they haven't shopped yet, obviously. So like I've got 100 of them before I even open, and it's like, so I can, okay, that makes sense. So I will just send you that information. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And let me ask you this. When I guess we start with you all as we're open to buy, because that's where we're collecting emails. Or do we do that as we're open for selling?
I would do open to buy, because then you're collecting email addresses. You communicate with those customers as well. It also will build your database of emails. So when you want to send out maybe a grand opening email, you can let them know of that grand opening.
And that would be considered one of the promotional emails, right?
Yes.
The grand opening. Okay. Let me ask you, can that be used as needed, or do you have to sign up to do that every month?
Yep, it's as needed. So if you're like, oh, I'm not going to do anything, I don't hear from you. Or if you do want an email, I'm going to hear from you. It's strictly case by case. You let me know, and we put those together for you.
Okay. So what else do I have here? I can't remember that. When my question was regarding redeemed loyalty button. Oh, I don't know what it meant. Okay. All right. So when the reports header, those come out each week, every 30 days. How often do those come out?
Reports for okay. So you have your reporting interface. Some of that's being updated daily, some of it's being updated monthly, yearly, that type of thing. Then you have your email address collection reports. You're going to get those weekly from us. So all of those emails that you're collecting in the store by associate, you're going to get that on a weekly basis. If you want specific reports, that's just kind of case by case too. If there's something specific that you're looking for, and it's not in your POS or it's not very clear, either through the POS or through the reporting interface, you can just reach out to me and just say, hey, Whitney, this is what I'm looking for. Can you help me? And we can put a report together for you.
Okay. And do you find that most owners do a reward for surveys, or do you just let them?
We literally just launched that feature like 3 weeks ago, and so it's like brand new. So I do know owners. I know Chris Barnett just signed up last week with it. So it really is, again, case by case with owners. Yeah, you would just let me know, and if that's something you want to do, I most certainly can get that set up for you.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. Well, this is good info. What else was I going to ask you? I guess that's it.
All right.
I guess then the next thing would be